you got in some controversy when you exited the race by using the word rigged to describe it. How do we stop the steal? Is Hugo Chavez involved? And how do we stop him?
So obviously, I wish I had chosen a different word.
Representative Katie Porter faced the full-throated fury of mainstream media after declaring that the California Senate primary, in which she placed third, was rigged. This week, she joined Pod Save America to half walk back, half clarify those remarks. Before we get to more of her explanation, let's take a close look at what she actually said and why she said it. After her loss to Adam Schiff, Porter wrote, "Thank you to everyone who supported our campaign and voted to shake up the status quo in Washington. Because of you, we had the establishment running scared, withstanding 3-1 in TV spending and an onslaught of billionaires spending millions to rig this election. Special interests like politics as it is today, because they control the politicians. As we've seen in this campaign, they spend millions to defeat someone who will dilute their influence and disrupt the status quo. But take my word for it, I'll never stop fighting for you." Porter is referring to the fact that the crypto industry super PAC Fair Shake spent more than $10 million opposing Porter's campaign. Meanwhile, here's a blurb from Schiff's campaign website. "California is on the forefront of new developments in technology, from Web3 and quantum computing to cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. We need to develop comprehensive regulatory frameworks to ensure that these companies and jobs stay here and grow here, and that the United States remains the global leader in these important new technologies." Porter touched on that more during her interview on PSA, so take a look at this.
I wish I had chosen a different word, because what happened with the controversy was it took away from two really important truths. One, our California election officials do a terrific job. Want to really make clear that at no time and in no way would I ever suggest that there's anything other than a careful, thoughtful, amazing election system that actually should be the model for a lot of the country, in my opinion. The second truth that is really important that got lost in all of that is that big money does influence our elections. Outcomes are manipulated and distorted when you have people coming in spending millions and millions of dollars at the last minute, and that money is not disclosed until after the election, so people don't know about it. They can't take it into account when they vote. And we're already seeing, like with this Fair Shake PAC, they're making noises about threatening Sherrod Brown, John Tester. These are people who are not necessarily interested in making sure Democrats have the majority and we can stand up to Donald Trump. They have a very different agenda than I feel like this entire race should have been about.
So it was pretty clear from day one what she was saying and why she was saying it, at least or so I thought. But Adam Schiff attacked her for it anyway. Take a look.
That term rigged, though, is a very loaded term in the era of Trump. It connotes fraud or ballot stuffing, false claims like those of Donald Trump. And I think what's remarkable is Democrats very quickly rallied to say, no, we don't use that language. The election was legitimate. And this is a sharp contrast to how the Republican Party treats allegations of rigged elections, which is they've gone along with them. Indeed, they're urging President Trump to pardon the January 6th insurrectionists if he ever got a chance. So a very different reaction among the parties to any kind of challenge to our democracy or suggestion that elections are illegitimate.
It was a lot of Trump bad, zero mention of money in politics. Now, Cenk, I have a feeling where you might fall in this story, but what do you make of Katie Porter's comments? Should she have even walked them back or clarified?
Yeah, no, I'm actually frustrated that she's being way too defensive. I know she's got a career in Democratic politics she's trying to protect, but you don't have to apologize for it. It's 200% true. Nobody means that the ballot was rigged, and nobody thinks that. They're all lying. They're all doing that so that they could protect their precious, beloved donors and this sick, corrupt system. So I know John Lovett was joking, but it turned my stomach. I hated that kind of smug attitude of like, oh, are you with the MAGA Republicans? Think Hugo Chavez don't? Money in politics, what's that? I don't know what money in politics is. Come on. And look, The reason she brings up John Tester and Sherrod Brown is because she's trying to not say the thing that is true that John Levitt and the rest of the guys there are not gonna like because they're establishment guys. If she says, look, Adam Schiff was super happy that those crypto crooks spent $10 million against me, that's why he kissed their ass. And on his website, it's like, oh, crypto is so important. What do you need? What do you need? You're giving me 10 million. I'll do anything for you, crypto guys. Adam Schiff is a crook. You wanna cry about it, John Lovett? You wanna cry about it, anybody else, mainstream media? He takes money from his donors and does exactly as they tell him to do. And now look, to be fair to Adam Schiff, that doesn't really separate him from 90% of politicians in America. So, I'm so sorry, Pod Save America and MSNBC. Did I break your heart? I know you love those politicians so much. Oh my God, the Democrats are so great. The way they take money and then serve all their donors no matter how crooked they are. They're so amazing. No, they're not amazing. If you don't know that the donors pick these politicians and that they rig the elections, not through the ballot box, but through money and politics, I'm sorry, but you're a bit of a moron. You're a simpleton. So I know that their feelings will be terribly hurt by this, terribly hurt. Cenk, we were just trying to cover up corruption, and here you are getting all upset about it. What's the big deal? The Democratic Party has been taking corporate money and doing everything that those corporations asked for. And now we're supposed to object? No, shh. Remember, the job of the media is to do propaganda for corporate rule. Corporate Democrats and corporate Republicans are our best friends. Oh, but let's do theater and have fake fights. Oh, corporate Democrat and corporate Republican. Oh, golly gee, we are fighting so hard. Oh, they pass another giant corporate tax cut. Okay, Republicans, play your roles. Oh, this is for freedom. Democrats, you guys stage left now. You guys come in. Oh, there was nothing we could do. There was nothing we could do. Oh, did all the donors get all the advantages? Oh, that sounds conspiratorial. I mean, did Sheldon Adelson, who gave $100 million to Trump in 2016 and 2020, did he get everything he wanted? Literally every single thing on his wish list from Trump? Oh, that's just probably a coincidence. Oh, wait. Trump's a Republican. So yes, he did. Oh, boo, corrupt. Well, how about when Biden and the Democrats and Adam Schiff takes money like the $10 million they used to assassinate Katie Porter in this race, and then Adam Schiff celebrates it and then kisses their ass? How about that? Oh, no. Only Republicans bad, guys. Bad when you take money. When Democrats, corporate Democrats take money, good. Adam Schiff probably honestly believes that crypto is wonderful for the country. So that's why he thought they were wonderful, and that's why he was, it's just such a coincidence that they spent 10 million on his behalf. Who's stupid enough to believe that? Anyway, you guys can get mad at me all you want. The entire country agrees with me, and no one agrees with you guys, but except your ass slap football buddies in mainstream media, like, oh, there's no corruption, right? Katie Porter's so silly for saying that donors have an effect, that they rigged the elections. You're right. Oh yes, Democrats, donors are the best. They don't rig anything. Why are you in journalism? Why are you in media? Why don't you just? It's so sad. It's super sad. Look, that's probably why they don't have me on shows like this. I'll be honest. Like, I had Tommy Vito on here. We had a perfectly great conversation. He's a good guy, friendly guy, and I'm sure that if I met John Lovett, we were talking outside of context, he'd be a nice guy, etc. And same with the MSNBC host. In fact, I know the MSNBC hosts. I used to be friends with them, and they were nice to me when I was at MSNBC. But they catch all sorts of feelings when you point out, duh, money in politics rules everything. And if you don't know that, that's super sad. I don't mind disagreements, but I mind you lying to your audience as if Katie Porter is some sort of conspiracy theorist for pointing out that the donors decide these elections. Please, don't be a child.
So I think it's important to distinguish how Schiff reacted to how PodSave reacted. I think Schiff was pretty clear he was trying to obfuscate and dance around the question. In fairness to the PodSave post, they did talk about money and politics a little bit. And I think if we want to be fair, I think Lovett was just making a joke, invoking the Dominion stuff. I don't think they would bring, that's just not the nature of that show, to bring someone on and grill them. I think ultimately they want to advance Democratic priorities. And I think they saw somebody in Katie Porter who they liked and appreciated and wanted to give her an opportunity to clarify, similar to what they did with Elizabeth Warren. Do you remember when Elizabeth Warren had the issue with her background? She went on that show to talk it out. I think that's the role that they serve. Schiff was just totally disingenuous. Oh, we don't use those words around here. Like, give me a break, man. Like, you know, you're not that dumb. You know what she meant, and you're pretending not to know to conflate her with Trump, which is ridiculous because they were formerly colleagues. Well, they're colleagues now, they won't be soon because of this. But also taking that money, or incorporating cryptocurrency and the crypto industry talking points into your Senate platform in 2024, after Sam Bankman-Fried, after the entire industry was exposed as rife with corruption, after expose after expose with how seedy that industry is, to put that in your Senate platform to talk about how important it is and how these products are so critical to the US, you cannot take someone who does that seriously. It is purely to win over Silicon Valley money, and that's what he did.
Yeah, so Jordan, I hear you, man, and I did get triggered by Lovett's smug joke, and I'm sure.
I think he was just being sarcastic.
Yeah.
I honestly think he was just being sarcastic.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. And I'm sure that they have for 12 to 14 seconds talked about money and politics, as every corporate Democrat does, a little bit of lip service. But then when elections come around, they forget about it. When there's a Democratic candidate, they forget about it. When legislation comes up, they forget about it and they never talk about it. So did the Pod Save America talk about Biden purposely threw $15 minimum wage under the bus because his donors didn't want it? That he said it in the first 2 interviews he did in his campaign after he was became president after the inauguration. The first interview was a Super Bowl one, and he said, we're not gonna do $15 minimum wage. He said, oh yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, when no Republican had even objected yet, okay? Did they mention that he never brought up the public option because of his donors in the drug industry? Did they mention that, oh yeah, he didn't actually reform a goddamn thing in drug prices, that he actually regulated 1 drug so far, and wow, maybe 10 by 2016, thereby actually protecting tens of thousands of drugs as these drug companies rip us off and then funnel millions of dollars to the Democratic Party? Did they mention that? My guess is no. Would they admit that Adam Schiff does everything his donors want, even though it's a verifiable fact? Of course not. So yeah, I'm frustrated. Is the Pod Save America guys the worst example of this? Of course not, right? And maybe in this moment I'm being too vitriolic against them in particular. And yes, MSNBC and the rest of mainstream media was way worse, and they were vomitous in their love of donors and how it was so conspiratorial to think that donors had power. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So the bottom line is, show me who you are. Tell me, show like we do. Show the donor money, and we did it earlier in the show. Here's Mitt Romney taking $9 million from the oil companies. Here's Ted Cruz and John Cornyn taking about $5 million apiece, and here's their quotes defending oil companies on a day that Biden did something really positive about climate change. We're honest about when Biden does something positive. We're honest when he does something negative. We're honest when he goes against his donors. And by the way, the minimum tax, if it's real and they didn't put in the poison pill into that provision and it actually gets executed, is beautiful, okay? And so that's Biden going against his donors. We give credit where credit is due. But on 98% of stuff, he doesn't do that. He covers for them, and so does mainstream media. So if they're pointing that out on every day on Pod Save America, and I'm not hearing it, then my bad. But I'm just sick of people pretending that the donors aren't in charge when any rational human being knows that they're in charge. Pretending they're not is really lying to your audience. So let's just be honest about that.
What frustrates me is my last point on this. What frustrates me is something that I've heard working in progressive politics now for, God, close to a decade. It is, we know that corporate money, we know that super PACs and dark money, we know it's a problem, but we have to match the right on this problem. It's like, okay, I'm even at least a little sympathetic to that. Okay, well, this is the problem. The right is getting, like you're pointing out, like tens, hundreds of millions from some of these single right-wing mega donors. Okay, for now, maybe whatever. I don't think it's ideal, but I understand that argument. But what are you doing to fix that problem? And when all of these people pull that out, like, oh, well, we have no choice, then what are you doing to fix it? What are you doing to make it so that we don't have to do that? And there's never any response. You never see anyone who invokes that excuse also double down on advocacy to overturn Citizens United, to demand that candidates run small dollar campaigns who don't take corporate PAC money. That should be centered. If that's truly how you feel, that this is just some temporary, necessary evil, you should be leading the charge, especially if you have a megaphone, to talk about that, to lift up people who are doing it. Lucas Kunz in Missouri, he's doing it. Who's talking about it? Bernie Sanders showed you can run a presidential campaign doing it. But these are outliers when the rest of the system, the rest of the party has just conceded, well, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah. So by the way, again, to be fair and honest, it's not like progressives are doing anything in Congress either, right? So look, you should never take corporate PAC money. I'm the one that instituted the rule of no corporate PAC money at Just Democrats. Best thing I've probably ever done in politics. And it has helped to set those legislators a little bit free. That's great. But, and then if you want to take non-corporate PAC money like union money or whatever it is, and you say, hey, fight fire with fire temporarily, I agree with Jordan. Okay, I could live with that. As long as you then propose something real to fix it. And none of them ever do. And if they do some sort of show and tell about, oh yeah, money in politics, here's a bill, like HR 1, right? What a joke. We were right about that from day one. I said, there's a 0% chance they're gonna do the anti-corruption parts of HR 1, 0%. And what happened? I was completely right. Why? Because this is not complicated, guys. Whatever the donors want, they always get it. So don't come here and tell me that you did, HR 1. So why didn't they pass it in the Senate? The parliamentarian, shut up. If you really think the parliamentarian has any power, it's childish. Absolutely childish to think that. So no, they never do. And those Just Democrats, yeah, they're good on some issues and we give them where credit is due and I want them to succeed. I started the group. But what have they done to fight money in politics? Nothing. So, and I don't know if it's ever gonna get through their heads for all the Democrats out there, for the politicians, I mean. Do you understand that until you get money in politics out, you will lose on almost every issue? Am I speaking too fast for you to understand? Oh my God, I can't believe we lost on 85% of the Joe Biden's agenda. Golly gee, all the things that were against corporate interests like paid family leave, higher minimum wage, lowering drug prices, we lost on all of them. Golly gee, I guess we'll try harder. No, it's not gonna matter because your colleagues, the Democrats, are also corrupt. They also take donor money. What do you think? Who do you think killed all those bills? Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema. You think they did it because of ideology? Please stop being a child. Because they had different ideas? No, their idea was who wrote my check. That's who I work for. If you don't know that, you literally know nothing about politics.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. We really appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate it if you become members because that allows us to be independent, honest, progressive, all the things that you don't get from corporate media. And all of that is because of you guys. Hit the join button below and become one of us, become a young Turk.